Greetings again, I'm Scott Foster. Because Rain Country is a television program, it's not surprising that we emphasize pictures. Like hand trolling in Elfin Cove, a cathedral in Sitka, eagles in Haines, whales in Southeast, bear tagging in the mountains, and more. This week, in addition to providing the visual, we're also going to take a bit of adventure with the auditory senses. We begin with one of the most common sounds in Southeast, a boat on the water, featuring a boat that chugs along to a slightly different tune.
Chopping wood is a regular chore for many Southeasterners. They stoke the fire to heat the house or cabin, smoke fish, or to heat the sauna or the hot tub. But one Juneau resident has revived one more reason to get the old wood fire roaring. Ron Kline worked off and on for 3 years to convert what was a diesel-powered lifeboat into a steam-driven pleasure craft.
And the engine I made every bit on it, machined all the pieces, put it all together. I got the castings from a man in St. Louis. I mean, the engine's tried and proven. But the boiler I designed, I laid it all out just looking at pictures of old boats and old steam launches and how we could do it modern, maybe a little bit cheaper. The boiler itself was made in a boiler shop. The firebox, everything below the boiler, was made at a local welding shop. The engine itself, I machined. I got a little metal lathe, and I make parts late at night. And when I needed a bigger lathe, I'd go borrow a friend's. And just do a lot with a file and a hammer.
The resultant plumber's nightmare looks like it would take years to learn how to operate, and improper use could result in an explosion very similar to, in Ron's words, a small atomic bomb. He presents a convincing argument that it will never happen and insists it's really very simple to operate.
The fire makes steam in the boiler. You take the steam off the top of the boiler, run it into the engine down here. This is the main steam valve. It's the throttle. Makes the engine go fast. Slow it down. We can slow it way down. Really make it creep. The pistons on a steam engine have to have lubrication, and that's what this is for. This is a lubricator. And you pump oil into the steam line, and it works its way through the engine. That's how it gets the lubrication to the piston rings. The rest of it's all external. You have a sight glass up here. This tells you the water level in the boiler. It's bopping at about 17 gallons. If that glass were to break, the only way we can tell if there's water in the boiler are with these tricocks. There's steam. That should have water. This is the injector that's used to add water to the boiler. Sucking it out of the hot well down here. Water and steam mix, blast themselves into the boiler. You have a pressure gauge, tells you how many pounds per square inch. We usually run it about 125. Over here is a pressure relief valve. In the event that the pressure gets too high, that automatically opens. Keeps you from blowing up in theory, at least slows the process down. This big valve over here is a blowdown valve. After we operate every 4 or 5 hours, you get mud and scum in the boiler. It settles down to the bottom, and the idea is you open that valve real fast and it blows all the muck out overboard. Quick demonstration. Every 4 hours or so. We lost about half a gallon of water. It's no big deal. You just add a little bit more. I know this, if the engine were a gas engine, as sloppy as that thing is, there's no way it would run. And there it is, just beating its heart out. I'm going to slow it way down here. You guys that like to troll for salmon, look at that, huh?
Ron was inspired to build his steamboat by watching one of his favorite movies.
Now, in the African Queen, old Bogey used to kick this thing all the time because it was full of scum and rust. And mine is full of scum and rust. It's nostalgia for sure. This is what this boat, I mean, it's everything about it, in the design, the hull, the boiler, the engine, it's all old time. And it never really meant to be that way. When I started out, it was going to be somewhat modern. But I guess this is how the best design is, huh? Maybe we can improve on a 1898 steam launch. All that technology was worked out 100 years ago.
Those days of old are a major influence in Ron's life. He moved to Alaska in a Model T Ford that he had rebuilt, and his notable reputation as a photographer is based largely on his use of a panoramic camera that was used at the turn of the century. Of all his symbols of the past, there is one that strikes a particularly nostalgic note. The 1918 Lunkenheimer steam whistle was the first part Ron purchased for the boat. He then used it as a tool for getting a state grant to help fund his project.
I took the steam whistle up to their office, and I told them I had the steam whistle and I wanted a boat. And I put it up to my mouth and blew it, and it made that beautiful steam whistle note. And I think that convinced them.
He got the grant from the Alaska Council on Science and Technology, a now defunct organization dedicated in part to developing alternative energy uses. You're probably wondering how Ron could rationalize a 100-year regression in technology.
I said, obviously we're not going to make something that's a steam fishing trawler, but people can get the idea. This is a highly visible craft. Kodak ought to give me a 20% kickback from all the pictures I've seen taken of me out on the water. You know, it's just that people see steam and for the first time, a lot of them, and this is good. You know, they'll understand that maybe it's an old funky boat, but it could be modernized somehow. You know, they don't have to use water. A steam engine could run on Freon and run, much more efficiently.
Besides promoting steam as a form of power, Ron had another motive for the project. He just wanted to prove something to himself and the world in general.
I'm not going to stop doing goofy things. You know, I mean, this is a childhood dream, and it's just going to keep going. You know, I got other dreams. Might make a steam-powered airplane. Who knows? It's been done. In the 30s, a guy built one. It was so quiet, he said he could talk to people down on the ground while he flew over.
Oh, I drifted away on a steam-powered airplane. I went and stayed, and I damn near didn't come back again. I didn't go very fast on a steam-powered airplane. Oh, the wheel went around and up and down and inside and then back again. Sitting in a 747 just watching them clouds roll by. Can't tell if it's sunshine or if it's rain. I'd rather be sitting in a deck chair high up over Kansas City on a genuine